Another day has arrived, and we are still in the same place of disarray. Hope is in the distance. I can see a tiny glimpse of light, just a tiny, tiny light. It is there, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance. Tomorrow may not arrive. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance.
Trading got you feeling like this? Losing your fur and your crypto? Yeah, manual charting is a beast. Makes you want to smash stuff. But wait, what's this shiny new toy? Could it be? One tap, screenshot, I trade, go. Magic box does the work. Boom, support, resistance, patterns, even a Yeti gets it. Suddenly, green candles everywhere winning, like a boss Yeti. Gronk's making bank, snowballs stacking sats. The whole cave is rich.
Yes!
Stop raging, start trading smart. Download iTrade AI Trading Assistant. Yeti approved, not financial advice.
Yeah. Your body really don't know. And this is a race when I failed me. I'm not going. Stealth in the night with the shadow sway. No words spoken, just the planes on display. Knocking out the power where danger lay. Hope's lit flame keeps the dark at bay. Boom in the silence, moves like a ghost. Choices we make, ripple coast to coast. Bridges built from ashes, no time to boast. Finds a way when it matters the most. They saw the storm but never the rain. The skies were quiet yet broke the chain. Tensions crumbled like a fortress in vain. The cost was steep but there's peace to gain. Boom in the silence, moves like a ghost. Choices we make, ripple coast to coast. Bridges built from ashes, no it matters the most. A hand unseen rewrote the game, from chaos to calm, a shift untamed. Lines redrawn where fire once claimed. Now a new world emerges, unframed. Boom in the silence, moves like a ghost. Choices we make, ripple coast to coast. Bridges built from ashes, no time to boast. Peace finds a way when it matters the most. When it matters the most.
Goeiemorgen, South Africa. Good morning. Utsihilijang. Welcome back, everybody. Good evening to those on the East Coast and points further west from Pennsylvania. You're watching Night Owls once again with the Colonel. How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the program. Boom in the silence. Yeah, that's right. Stealth bombers flying all the way around the world in a battlefield deception operation. That's right, folks. Hey, look who's back with me tonight. Pikachu is back once again, and he's giving Bob a boost. Check it out. Pikachu's got Bob on his foot. He's resting Bob over there. All right, the Bugger Off Bunny is back with us along with Pikachu. Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I think someone said something earlier. They didn't like grown men having stuffed toys. Well, you know what? At least my habit doesn't cost me tons of money. Anyway, Ants, welcome to you. Umanel, welcome to you. And who else we got here? Phoenix, Kathy Price, who I think was the one that created that song. Was it not you, Kathy, as I recall? I'm trying to remember. You've done a lot of those songs. Retha, welcome to you. Anis Kruger, CB's back. Petrus van der Linde, good morning to you. Momo. And who else we got there in the chat? Francis Glover, good morning to you. Who else we got? Karen Lange, welcome to you. Loretta, Mandy van Rooyen. Multipass, Lelo Dallas Multipass. Still love that movie. Oh my goodness. Corne van Rooyen, welcome to you. And Johan Engelbrecht, thank you and your associates for your work towards. What associates? I don't have any associates. I do have some moderators, some who have been very helpful over the past 5 years, and some who've joined us recently, so I'm grateful. But what associates? I have no associates. It's just me. It's basically a one-man operation with the exception of the help I get from my moderators. Yep, so anyway. Yeah, sorry, folks. I'm having a little sweet tooth going on here tonight. Ooh, Mott's. Fruit snacks. That's a great one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. The grape ones. I don't like the other ones. Some of the other ones. This land is my land. This land is your land. No, it's not. It's my land. I am the legal property owner. You have no right to it, Eker Helini. You cannot confiscate my land for zero compensation. That's a violation of the 1975 Expropriation Act, as well as Section 25 of the 1996 Constitution. Yep, Kathy, I thought so. Yeah, I think you mean the moderators, Johan. Cool. No worries. Not a correction, just a heads up. No, I don't want people to think I've got some multi-man operation. You know, I was watching this really wild reality show called Below Decks. Anyone ever seen that Below Decks, the Down Under version? It was on the flight coming back. I'd never seen it before, but I figured, let me give it a try. And it was a luxury cruise ship that went to the Seychelles, season 3. And, yeah, I was watching that. And what was the point of telling you that story? Something about that story. It slipped my mind. So anyway, that was I was watching that on the plane, and then I found out I can watch a little bit back here, so I started watching the other night when I came back. Reality TV is not really my cup of tea, but I enjoyed that show. It was pretty funny, pretty entertaining. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So I was watching that in season 3, and the first group of tours that they had on the boat, luxury tours, or the second group included an influencer, an Instagram influencer with 108,000 subscribers. I'm like, he's an Instagram influencer with 108,000 subscribers? Really? And he's going on luxury yachts? Instagram must pay a hell of a lot better than YouTube does. That's all I can say. If he has 108,000 followers and he's a life coach and he's making that kind of money, he must be paying a lot more money on Instagram than YouTube pays. What's Love Cap League? I don't know what that is. What is that, Syncmaster? I don't know what that is. Hey, Francis, how you doing? Anyway, folks, welcome back to the program. Got a couple more days. So tomorrow, busy day. My car's due for its annual inspection to make sure it's roadworthy. So I got that tomorrow, plus an oil change. And then I've got to take my other vehicle to drive to my medical appointment tomorrow morning. Then we'll come back here and more prep. I have laid out my entire trip, made all my reservations, made my plans, got my rental vehicle, flights all booked. Everything's taken care of except booking my bag. You can't go online with American Airlines until 24 hours before your flight, and then 2 hours before your flight, you can no longer do it. So you have a 22-hour window to pay for your bag, to check your bag. So I've got to pay for a bag. Yep. Pikachu is holding the bunny. Yep, that's right, Shawnee. How's it going, Shawnee? Didn't see you much when I was in the UK, or were you just quiet in the background? Good to see you back. On the TV series. Which TV series? I don't know what that is. Love Cape Lee. Is it Cape Lee? I don't know what that is, Syncmaster. Is that a show? Andre, good morning to you. Ulrich Fenter, good evening. Welcome back. Good morning to the rest of the team. Yep. Anyway, so busy day today. I've recorded another video, which is about the Eckerhölini expropriation case, and I was in the process of editing it when I had to stop to prep for this show. So here, I'll just give you a little foretaste of it as I was playing in the background. You can listen for a second. Eyes of the ANC and Sir Ramaphosa exposed once again. The city of Eckerhölini has argued that it doesn't have to compensate a company after it expropriated its land, saying its interests are outweighed by the needs of residents. Interesting. So I need to put in a little graphic right there. And I'll put some transitional moments in there. So, its interest? Who exactly are we talking about? ANC councillors? Survey says, I need to stick a little buzzer thing in there for Family Feud. Nope. Section 25 of the South African Constitution says otherwise. I need to take a little of the Family Feud and put my voice over it for Richard Dawson. We surveyed 100 random people in South Africa, and their answer was, Hey, Tasha, how's it going? You were quiet. Wow, Sean, you got almost 1,000 on your channel. That's awesome. That's awesome, Shawnee. I'm glad to hear that. Cool. Yeah, Pikachu's back. I got a lot of stuffed animals back there. I got the greatest of all time goat hanging up there. I've got, over here, I've got Peter Rabbit. And then I've got down here the Springbok. I got Pikachu back there with Bugger Off Bob. And then down here's a troll. Hey, Mandy, what's going on? How does Holzhausen? Folks, earlier this evening, another reason why I didn't finish the video was editing is because earlier this evening I was answering emails. I went through and answered a lot of emails this evening. As many as I could. I can't do them all. So, Tasha wants to know if she can ask a silly question. Well, let's see what your question is. Then we'll determine whether it's actually silly or you just think it's silly. What is your question? Sloth Puppy is back. There's an OG. Welcome back. How you doing, man? How you doing? Leilu Dallas Multipass. I love that movie, man. Deanie Dreyer says, good morning. Good morning to you, Deanie. How's it going? Yeah, well, the clock does hold time. I've changed it. Right now, it's ahead of the game. It's 23:15. I got it 23:16. Yeah, the clock it doesn't hold time. That's for darn sure. What do you want? It's Chinese, guys. What do you want? I wonder how many people are pissed off by my latest video. Let me see how many bad comments I got. Okay, no bad comments. I'm sure somebody wanted to put bad comments there, but no bad ones yet. But almost nobody's watched it. It's just 600. How many views? 600? 632. I lost a subscriber. I lost a subscriber. YouTube is playing games again. Well, I'll tell you this. If you watch that video and you stop subscribing to my channel, you're a child. You don't belong to be here. You don't deserve to listen to my content for free. So, footsec. That's right. I told the truth. And the problem is you can't handle the truth. I lost a subscriber. Oh, well. Look at me. Look how crushed I am. Look how sad I am. You want to visit friends in St. Joseph, Missouri is a good place. What do you mean by good place? Pretty much everywhere in America is a good place. Oh, Amanda says, what video? The one I released earlier that obviously you weren't notified about. This one here. This one here. Obviously YouTube didn't notify you, Amanda. So there's the link. I'll pin that at the top. Oh, you just woke up. Okay, all right, gotcha. Well, I did one earlier, so yeah, I didn't expect a lot of views yet because it's nighttime. I'm not a travel consultant. Well, that's not entirely true, Maze. I've done a lot of videos about travel. Let me see if I can find a few of my travel videos. So, okay. Here you go. This is a 51-minute one. I get the moose crossing. Here's videos on Wyoming. Hang on. See the moose crossing the creek? Can you guys still hear me? Holy cow. There's another one. There's the big bull moose coming out. Thank you, Loretta. Yeah, well, the webcam, for some reason, camera microphone was turned on, so I had to turn it off because otherwise you get this echo sound. There he is. Look at that bull moose, man. That was with my older Samsung. Not as good a quality as the camera I have now. Yeah, Kathy, it was pretty cool. That's out in Wyoming, the Wind River Range. Pretty cool stuff. Yes, Umandel, that's what I said. Good riddance to human rubbish, yep. So that was 92 views, that's it. 92 views. And then we have this one here, which had to be shortened because the music I used was free, but then they tried to claim copyright. So this has 295 views. This is pretty cool. No idea what all that sound is in the background. I wasn't there before. There's the moose again. Oh, it was very peaceful. I went out for about an hour and a half and filmed all this stuff one morning before we left. Here we go. Thank you, Oman. That mountain in the distance is called Square Top. Whoops, what are we getting, an advert here? That's a really cool frame. I picked a great spot there with the trees framing the lake. This is over 3,000 meters in elevation. They stripped the music out here because they claimed a copyright claim. Anyway, yeah, I do lots of things. I did North Carolina Civil War sites. Let me see if that's still on here. If that's North Carolina, or if that was still from the previous year. Nope, I can't find it. No North Carolina showing up. Anyway. Yeah, it does look like a poster calendar. Well, those aren't pics. Those are videos. I've got photographs showing. That's with my old camera. That was before the 21. I think it was an S9. So the S21, the one I have now. By the way, the screen is repaired. Just waiting for the screen protector to come in. So I got a brand new screen on it. So, yeah. And a brand new battery, which is great. I haven't charged this all day, and it's at, what is that, 60%? 53%. Okay. Yeah, 53%. I watched videos on earlier. I've answered calls. I've made calls. Checked my mail. And it hasn't been charged in 18 hours. So that's pretty good. The older battery was running out, and I had to charge it twice a day. Yeah, so I got lots of stuff like that on my channel. I have a tab called Out and About, I think. And I think some of those things are on there when I created that tab. Let me see. But yeah, let me see. Playlist. Why is it not doing that? There we go. Would note my channel initially. Good morning, George. What's the word, man? How you doing? So, playlist is what I want. Well, by the way, folks, we're over 30 million views. I meant to mention that. I said if things go well, we'll reach 30 million views while I'm in England. We did. The channel now, its lifetime, has reached 30 million views. You know, we're within reach of Ronaldo and Morning Shot, both of whom are just a few million views ahead of us. Just a few million views ahead of us. Wow, so we're close. So let's put a push on to surpass both those channels by getting my views back up and get us to surpass that. Yeah. Yep. Frequency, upload frequency. As many as 24 uploads per week I do. Yeah, wow. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, anyway. So I'm looking for the Out and About. Where are these? Are there more playlists here? Yep. Conscious Caracal's up to almost 16,000 subscribers. Good for him. That's cool. Okay, and let me see if I can find this bad boy. So, yeah, it doesn't show me playlist. The videos, playlist. There we go. Playlist. That's what I'm looking for. I want the Out and About playlist. Okay, outdoors place to be. That's not the one. Out and About's the one I want. Battlefield tours. I got those. Yeah. History around Africa. What else we got here? Where is the Out and About one? That's what I'm looking for. Maybe I can't see. Oh, there's Out and About. 218 videos in there. Out and About. Well, hey, it's snowing again. I went out and shoveled earlier. It took away about 3 inches plus the 2 inches from last night. Now it's another 4 inches between the time that President Ramaphosa spoke and I came out here. Pretty crazy, huh? Look at all this snow. Beautiful winter wonderland. If you like snow, that is. I love snow. So I'm off to pay my gas bill, but I'm doing it on foot. Not gas bill, water bill. Doing it on foot because I'm not driving in this. Look at the road, man. Look at the road. And it's still coming down. And that's just the surface. That doesn't include the people who walk around on the road. Or drive on the road, I should say. Walk like me. No, people driving, you can't account for how good the drivers are, how poor they are. So just came out to go ahead and pay this bill. Figured it'll be pretty dark by the time I get back. It's kind of slow going here on the ground in this soft, mushy mush, or as we say in German, much, slushy sort of snow. Hard to walk on that as it gives way to your feet. But there you go, folks. Anyway, winter wonderland here in central Pennsylvania. It looked like we escaped the bulk of what was going on. That was yesterday. But guess what, folks? It's here with a vengeance. It looked like we were on the cusp, the edge of the storm, but now it's striking back. Hope everybody's snug in their homes, stocked up on supplies, everything they need, because it's definitely a winter wonderland out here. Roads are slick. It's pretty dicey for driving conditions. Although by now the major roads should be pretty clear. The authorities do a pretty good job at the state, county, and township level of keeping the major roads clear.
Do you see that flag behind me? There's a U.S. flag and a Don't Tread on Me flag on that property flying proudly.
Here in central Pennsylvania. You got to give them credit for that. But quite a bit of snow still coming down. Yes, I'm wandering around in shorts as I always do. I have the coat on because if I walk with just my sweatshirt, my hoodie, the heat of my body will melt the snow and it'll freeze and might get hypothermia. So I'm actually wearing a coat, a good coat. I think it's an LL Bean coat if I'm not mistaken, which will keep me dry. So I suppose it looks a little strange walking around in shorts when you're wearing a winter coat. There goes a snow plow. See that? Look, good job, folks, good job. Where's he at? Lost him. Anyway, sorry if you didn't see him, but the snow plows are out. They're doing their job. Kids are sleighing and bobsledding all over the place, taking advantage of the winter weather. Anyway, folks, I'll do some more videos to update you. Just giving you a little shot of the winter wonderland. But look at this mess here. People try to turn around the corner. Look at that. Woo. My goodness. Slick. And then down here, not a main road, but a main thoroughfare in the village down here. Pretty clear. Snowplow's doing a pretty good job. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty good. But as you can see, the visibility conditions are limited. Only goes so far. Anyway, folks, I'll give you an update shortly. Take care.
So that was, when was that one? So that was a winter one, and this one's 4 years ago. This is, see, look, I mean, these are videos I have 104 views on. See, I've been doing this for a long time and not giving up. This is spring clover. That was winter. This is a spring video.
Hey folks, Chris here in central Pennsylvania at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And just looking at a lovely field of alfalfa and clover that has been clipped. So it looks like alfalfa and clover. Yeah, for hay, no doubt. Beautiful field here in central Pennsylvania. As we get through May, the winter wheat is about ready to get ready to start turning brown. You can see the foothills of the Appalachians over there. Off in the distance on the left there is winter wheat. I'll show you another field in another video here shortly.
Oh, it's nice to hear birds singing in the background. So that was, which one was that? It was Pennsylvania spring clover cuttings. Yep, so big change from the snow you saw a few minutes ago. And here's corn crop. So these are the out and about playlists. You can find stuff of me traveling around different places.
Here we are in central Pennsylvania. This is Chris again in central Pennsylvania, and this is early. It is late May 2021, and you can see the corn, or maize for those of you in Africa, is just starting to come up.
You barely notice it's even corn unless you happen to be a farmer. It's just getting started. By July, this will be knee-high. By the end of summer, it'll be taller than I am. All over 2 meters. Yep. So that's, anyway, so I have a whole playlist of out and about videos, yeah. All over for my travels. Some of them are hard to find. I know a lot of people don't know the videos because they'll go back and look at things. This is winter wheat in full form. Now that was when it was, let's see, it should be green if it's in full form here. Okay, that's a long break. There you go. Hello, folks. It's Chris again here in central Pennsylvania. Little agriculture-focused videos here. This is winter wheat, already up to my hips. Absolutely gorgeous. Stuff planted last fall before winter set in. You can see it right there. Absolutely gorgeous stalks as they mature. Beautiful field here in central Pennsylvania at the foothills of the Appalachians. You can see off in the distance behind it there. Absolutely gorgeous winter wheat. Perfectly planted rows. Thousands of them, one after the other. Yep, so that's the winter wheat one. So that video has like 70 views. 70 views. Anyway, you can see that I still do the work regardless. Anyway, love the trees, somebody said. Okay, cool beans. Oh, look at that. The field of dreams. Oh, field of dreams. Yeah, it is a field of dreams. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. So let me just skip along to the next one. Oh, this one's cool. Memorial Day preparations for our fallen veterans. This is from, it says 210 views. This is 4 years ago, 2021. So hope you enjoy this one. We do this in May. Go to all the cemeteries where veterans are buried, which is all of them. Hey, this is Chris coming to you from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, where I've gone to a local cemetery with the veterans of foreign war, post 6771, to place markers and flags at the grave sites of veterans who served in the United States military throughout their history, placing flags at Revolutionary War veterans, Second World War veterans, First World War veterans, American Revolutionary veterans, all over the place. Fascinating. The one we just did a moment ago was over here. This is a Revolutionary War veteran, barely able to read the name off of the gravestone. It's been there so long, over 200 years. There you go. Mitchell's the name right there. Right in front of us where that flag is at. He's a veteran of the Revolutionary War. Over on this side, part of the founding family of this town is named after the Dill family. There are several veterans from the Dillsburg, from the family here. Here we have George A. Dill, enlisted in 1898. Served in Company F, the 22nd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, 1869-1930. He is a veteran of the Spanish-American War, which you can see from right there on the plaque, marked down there to commemorate his grave. Fascinating to see. Over here we have George Dittmer, 1844-1922. He was a veteran of the Civil War, as you can see from that. GAR is a veterans association known as the Grand Army of the Republic, and that's for service for the veterans in the North who served in the American Union forces during the Civil War. Other families here from the Dills family, Captain Matthew Dill from 1698 to 1750. That's when he died. Captain Dill. It says here in memory of Colonel Matthew Dill, a founder of Dillsburg. He served in the Continental Army during the Revolution, born about 1726, died April 1812, buried in the Lower Marsh Creek Cemetery, Fairfield, Penn. And his son George Dill, born about 1766, died about 1813 while serving our country during the War of 1812. He's buried in Ontario, Canada. Where, when was what, Kathy? When was what? This? Or you mean the snow? That was also like 2020, I think. Yep. So, yeah. So this was I did that one. That's got a couple hundred views. Yeah, lots of videos, and many of them didn't get many views. So, oh, here you go. This one I was looking for, Marietta, Georgia National Military Cemetery. This is 71 views, folks. I spent thousands of dollars to make these videos with almost no views. All these people run their mouth, saying I'm making money off this channel. No, I went all the way to Georgia. in North Carolina for these things. This is National Military Cemetery in Marietta, Georgia. Okay.
Hey folks, Chris here from the Marietta National Cemetery with U.S. war dead from the Civil War. I'm here at the Marietta National Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, the U.S. Army established this 23-acre cemetery back in 1866 on land that was donated by Henry Green Cole. He'd moved to Georgia from New York in 1838 to work as a civil engineer for a railroad. Later became a successful businessman in Marietta. During the Civil War, Cole remained loyal to the Union and spied for federal forces. Confederate officials arrested him and imprisoned him in 1864 for these activities. After the war, he returned to Marietta, where he lived until his death in 1875. He's buried in a family plot at the National Cemetery. Now, this cemetery, it does include one Medal of Honor recipient, Dennis Buckley. He was with 136th New York Infantry, received his commendation posthumously for bravery at Peachtree Creek, Georgia, on the 20th of July, 1864. It is interesting as we sit here and reflect on the events that took place well over a century and a half ago, in what was clearly the greatest existential crisis this nation has faced, with the exception perhaps of the War of 1812, when our near existence was nearly wiped out. The British burned the White House, sacked Washington, and our country was in grave danger. Civil War was the existential crisis. Second World War was a major issue against fascism, but the United States was never threatened with being eliminated. 2% of America's population died during the Civil War. 2%. Think about that number. Nearly 700,000 combat casualties alone. While it started as a place to bury Union dead from the Civil War, clearly it's a place, these national cemeteries, where veterans are laid to rest. Here we see Richard Reuben Hargis II, Georgia private, Army Training Corps, World War I, died 1957. John Thomas Leach, Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, 1298th Air Transport Squadron, World War II in Korea, died 1958. Lloyd MacArthur, Private First Class, Company B, 17th Infantry, 11th Division, World War I, June 28th, 1965. And we move on, we will see some of the Civil War graves here. You see some here. James Anderson, Corporal, Company D, 81st Ohio Infantry. J.T. Worrell, Sergeant, Indiana.
People went to end slavery and never found their way home. So this is the Wisconsin Badgers monument at that cemetery. There's one huge monument there for the Wisconsin Badgers. The unit was down there. Very impressive.
This is Chris at the Marietta Military Cemetery in Marietta, Georgia. In front of me is the monument from the state of Wisconsin dedicated to the Badger State soldiers who fought in the American Civil War, of whom 405 are buried here at Marietta Military Cemetery.
405.
The inscription reads, dedicated to the memory of Wisconsin soldiers who gave their lives in defense of the Union, 1861 to 1865. 405 belonging to the following regiments are buried here. 1st Cavalry, 5th Battery Light Artillery, 5th Battery Light, 6th Battery Light Artillery, 10th. As I walk through the National Military Cemetery here at Marietta, in Marietta, Georgia, I can't help but think of the tens of millions who served in uniform to support and defend this country, in the creation of it, the expansion of it, the defense of it. And I look around now and see people contort and twist and lie about the origins of this country, about its purpose, about its citizens, with their
Every
false
one of those
narratives.
was a soldier.
Reagan said freedom is but one generation from being extinguished. He was right. Absolutely right. Each generation must nourish liberty.
So, Kathy, thank you for being new to YouTube. What you need to do is go to the channel, and at the top, it'll list where the postings are and the different things, and they'll have a tab for playlist. If you click on playlist, you can see all the different categories where I have videos. And this is under the out and about videos, so you can check those out. And there are lots of them. You can skip ahead. I'm skipping ahead of some of these. So here's the Gone with the Wind Museum that's in Marietta, Georgia. They have a Gone with the Wind museum from the movie and the book Gone with the Wind. So some people will find that interesting. It's not so interesting for me, but I went there for my viewers. Well, almost none of them watched
The Gone with the Wind Museum in Marietta, Georgia, paying homage to Margaret Mitchell's movie Gone with the Wind about the American Civil War. You can see Vivian Leigh up there on the wall, Clark Gable, Leslie Howard, costumes.
Not really my cup of tea, but I know some people like this. Well, then you'll love this one. Please go watch it. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Now, Marietta also has a Confederate cemetery that's not too far from the Union Cemetery. So I went to the Confederate cemetery. It's not nearly as well maintained because it's out of private funds, whereas the National Military Cemetery is maintained.
This is Chris in Marietta, Georgia, the Marietta Confederate Soldier Cemetery. In stark contrast to the National Military Cemetery, where Union veterans from the Civil War initially, but then from all conflicts and service periods are buried. Virtually none of these graves are marked. They're just solemn markers that's taking place here. Virtually no markings whatsoever. Initially donated during the Civil War to house the graves of soldiers who died in a train wreck in 1863. It was later expanded. And those from Battle of Chickamauga and others were placed here later. You can see the battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia over there. That's the old Georgia standard, blowing in the wind. 1861, 1865, unnumbered heroes. There's one black veteran buried here as well. Those are Confederate veterans who survived conflict and died later. These all seem to have died in 1922. B.D. Cravey, Company E, 3rd Florida, 1835 to 1922. T.A. Mason, Company D, 8th Georgia.
So there was a lot going on in Marietta, Georgia. This is Marietta Fire Museum, Marietta, Georgia. So I did this one as well. Hope you guys find this one interesting. Come on, we get started here. Yep.
Hey folks, this is Chris. I'm in the Marietta Fire Department's museum at Fire Station number 1. Some pretty awesome looking firefighting vehicles. Let's look at Chief's car or something like that. Quite a long history here in Marietta, Georgia. Sounds like someone got a call there. Quite a long history here. Some really antique fire trucks. Originally goes back to 1854. Hook and ladder here. Truck number 1. 1854. Quite a long tradition. Look at that firefighting truck down there. Fascinating. All the hoses. Awesome display case here with all kinds of models of fire trucks.
That was pretty cool.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
very
very
good too. And then here's the teddy bear toss. Oh yeah, here's the teddy bear toss from 2017. I had this photo and I put this together later on. This is the teddy bear toss was incredible. They've ruined it though at Hershey Park. It used to be Hershey Bears. It used to be so cool. Liam O'Brien, nice guy. Met him, got a photograph with him. He scored the teddy bear toss goal here. Look at all those stuffed animals on the ice. I kept changing my position during the teddy bear toss, and I went all the way to the top. Took these pictures. Why haven't you been here in a while, Stefan? What's going on? Hope everything's okay in your life. So the way they ruin the teddy bear toss is a couple different ways. Number one, the teddy bear toss started as a charity event in a place in Canada, and then it caught on in minor league hockey. The American Hockey League allowed it. The Hershey Bears wound up having the biggest teddy bear toss year after year after year. And the one that I was in was the biggest one ever. It was like 40-some thousand stuffed animals. So the intent of this was to do this before Christmas, early in the hockey season. So these were donated to needy children at Christmas time. The first way they changed this is that they started charging more for the tickets on Teddy Bear Toss Night. If you're altruistic and trying to raise something to help needy children, you don't gouge your customers with higher ticket prices. That's the first way they ruined it. The second way they ruined it is they moved the Teddy Bear Toss to January. Christmas is over. It sort of takes the shine off of donating bears and stuffed animals to kids in need for Christmas when it doesn't go to them at Christmas time. The argument is, well, we just do it throughout the year. Well, that's not an argument. The other way they ruined this is that corporations would donate thousands of bears and stuffed animals, and they would never even make it on the ice. They would be in boxes and crates in the back room, and that would be counted in the number, which is bullshit. They can donate those, and that's great, but they made to make a distinction. 5,000 bears were donated by this corporation, but they aren't part of the total. So they made it all about making money and all about, totals, not about the generosity of the people there. I mean, people carry 7, 8, 10 bears in and toss them out on the ice. I took stuffed animals and tossed them out there. It was fun, and they went to a good cause, but they ruined it. They absolutely ruined it. This one only has 147 views. Oh, you're just getting back to normal. Okay. That's how they've ruined it, Hans. As far as going around museums, Kathy, with video, it depends. You can't use flash photography in any museums, especially paints, because you ruin those things. But this camera is amazing. It doesn't need flash photography. So, yeah. Yeah, Retha, it sort of defeats the whole purpose of it. So it just becomes a gimmick. And before it wasn't a gimmick, it was a cool thing to do. Now it's just a gimmick. And who wants to be part of a gimmick? So they've ruined it. Plus Hershey's prices. Let me look at ticket prices, Hershey Bears. I used to get tickets for Hershey Bears when I moved here for $8 to $12 for the upper level. And then I could get $18 for the good seats at the lower level. Not in the center, because I don't like the center, but slightly off center. $18. So $12 and $18. Let's take a look at Hershey Bears, okay? Let's take a look at what these bastards are charging now for tickets. By the way, parking was $5 a night when I came. Now it's $30 a night, or $35. Okay, so tickets. Let me just pick a game. Single game tickets. Okay, I'll pick a game. Oh, and last year I was going to go to the home opener. They charged $76 for the home opener. Wow. So October 1st they play. I can't do that. October 11th, that's when the season begins. So that's the Bears versus the Syracuse Crunch. It's a Saturday. All right, so let me pick on that one. I'll pick that, okay? Let's see what the tickets cost. And it's through Ticket Shyster, which is the biggest ripoff ever. Okay, come on. All right, so here you go. Ready for this? Watch these cheap bastards. So the tickets there that I used to pay $18 are now $40.10 plus the fees. You can't pick them up at the ticket window anymore. You have to order them online. They're all electronic. They're not even paper tickets anymore. $40. So the upper level, $35 for the upper level. These are the worst seats. They're $26. They cost more than the seats right here used to cost. Those are $71 to sit there. $65, $65, $65. $50, $50, $70. Look at that. And here you can't even get tickets. It's the club seats. That whole section is always off limits. $35. The cheapest seats are $35. $35 to barely see the game. So, folks, I'm going to tell you that $60 down here. If you have a family with 2 kids, A family of 2 kids, that's $240 for tickets, plus $35 to park. That's $270 to go to a minor league hockey game. Are they high? That's ridiculous. They've ruined the sport. Oh, it's ridiculous, Retha. It's absolutely ridiculous. I won't go unless there's free tickets available to me through VetTix or something like that, or somebody buys my ticket. That's absolutely insane. That's ridiculous. I have paid an outrageous amount to go to National Hockey League games. Like when I went to Denver, I think I paid like $80 or $90 for a ticket just because I didn't know if I was ever going to go there again. And for the Vegas Golden Knights, I paid $120 for a ticket one night, something like that. But yeah. Oh, forget the Super Bowl. Yeah, forget the Super Bowl. This is just ridiculous. They price themselves out of the market. I mean, who can afford that crap? I mean, my retirement pay doesn't keep up with their price hikes. From $12 and $18 to $35 and $70. That's the difference now. 18 became 70, 12 became 35. And my pay is 40% lower than it was when I was paying for the cheaper prices. That's insane. Well, thank you, Road Captain Kevin. Okay. Yep. No, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So let me look at baseball. Okay. Let's see. I think the minor league seasons are over now, but let me take a look at the Lancaster Barnstormers. Lancaster Barnstormers tickets. Let's see if they're still open. I don't know if they're still around. I think the season might be over now. Single game tickets. Home plate, $21 if you buy them in advance. Outfield box seats, $13. Okay, that's not too bad. That's reasonable. Let's go to York Revolution. York Revolution. Let's go to tickets. Okay. Tickets. Where's the cast? One single game. The links don't work. I wonder if the season's over. Can't even find tickets there. Yeah, it's outrageous. 5,000 Super Bowl ticket, 500 hotel room if you can find one. Yep. Colonel, have any extra scrutiny from the authorities while in the UK? No, I didn't, Light Rain. Didn't. Nope. Didn't have any problem like that, which is a bit surprising. I thought I might. Anyway, yeah, so let me skip that and see what's next on here. So I did this one here, and I never got... I did a reaction. Folks, welcome back. Check. This is a reaction video to snowflakes. This is from 4 years ago, 331 views. It's my reaction video to snowflakes. Hey folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa, and congratulations to Tom McDonald. His hit he dropped less than 8 hours ago, Snowflakes, has already passed over 1 million views on the tube, on YouTube. 1 million views, just hit that within the last 10 minutes. Congratulations to him. This song is amazing. The lyrics are off the charts, brilliant. Let's take a little listen to this from Tom McDonald, Snowflakes. Oh, what can I say about this? The lyrics are popping. They're off the chart, so spot on. So what happened there? Tom McDonald said that he encouraged people to use his content to promote it, and then he gave me a copyright claim. So I played it as a reaction video, and I got a copyright claim. That's why I jumped right there. They cut the song out. Yeah, another reason I lost interest in Tom McDonald. So this is another one. So this is me on Voice of America a few years back. You might find this one interesting.
These soldiers are part of Liberia's new army, which numbers only a couple of thousand. After the war, which ended in 2003, the UN helped demobilize former fighters while the new government, with United States help, began recruiting.
Lock and load, guys.
New trainees must meet much higher eligibility requirements.
In the military, the boss is the battlefield operating system.
Private American companies are training the Liberian soldiers. The military contractors were hired and paid for by the U.S. government.
One thing for you field.
These soldiers are being drilled on battlefield tactics.
Representing all 15 of Liberia's counties.
Lieutenant Colonel Chris Wyatt of the U.S. Army is in charge of the training. He says there have been concerns about the use of private contractors.
The question isn't whether they're private or public. The question is whether they're competent in doing the proper job. This is not the government's army. It's not the American army. It
Hey, who's that handsome fellow? Who is that handsome fellow?
is the people of Liberia's army.
The UN mission also established training for the National Police Force, which is expected to take on many of the peacekeepers' roles. Unlike UN,
So how was that? So this is Niagara Falls. I did this video. So speaking of travel videos, here you go, Niagara Falls. That's the U.S. side right there. See the boats going up to it. This is from the Canadian side. And that's the Canadian Horseshoe Falls. Look at the boats under the falls. Rainbow. Look at the water going over the edge. It's insane. Look at all that water going on. Every second of every hour of every day this happens. Love the rainbows. Yep, that was, oh, here's the Bavarian Alps in the spring. That's when I went to Garmisch. These are with older cameras. Oh, Maid of the Mist, I've never done that. It was 2017 when I filmed this. Bavarian Alps. Went to an Augsburg soccer game. Here's a hockey fight. That's a hockey fight. Syracuse crunch. You can see the sticks and the gloves are everywhere. See, my out and about list has all kinds of stuff. We've looked at the Bavarian Alps, we've looked at Wyoming, we've looked at hockey, we've looked at teddy bear toss, all kinds of stuff. So you just got to check out the playlist, folks. I don't think a lot of people realize that. A lot of good content on the playlist. These are mostly short videos of places I've been. So, yeah. This was at the Calder Cup playoffs final. Oh, here they come. This is the College Green of Ohio University. That's my alma mater there. Alma mater. That used to be Baker Center, the student center when I was a student here. It's since been replaced by a modern, newer center on the other end of the green. This is the College Green here in the center of campus, well, the heart of campus. You see a dormitory over there. It used to be for females. Don't know what the case is now. That wasn't Jefferson Hall. I can't remember what that was. A few frat houses over in the corner. Coming across the green now. Memorial Auditorium, which is where I watched Michael Stanley Band in concert. My first ever concert was maybe when Neil Young was first. No, I think it was the first one, Memorial Auditorium. People stood outside here for 4 or 5 days in line, trading places, waiting for tickets into the center of the green. You see more of the college green here. The sun isn't cooperating there. I try to get out of it. Putnam Hall, which is the oldest building. I think it was built around 1806 or something like that. Chubb Hall, which is the admissions office. Administration is located over there. Back up into town right there. That's where the burrito buggy used to sit all the time. I don't know the status of that. I know they were trying to sell that. Somebody was looking to buy it. As we walk across the college green here, it's a ghost town. Virtually no students walking around. Lindley Hall, where I took ROTC classes, was locked up. I couldn't even enter it. You see Galbraith Memorial Chapel over here. That big building straight ahead down there that I'm approaching is Ellis Hall, where I took my German classes. It's quite amazing. It was old then. I imagine it's been renovated. I did get into Bentley Hall, where students studied history when I was here. You have Cutler and Putnam, some of the buildings here on the green. It's always difficult to find parking. Alden Library, which is an amazing library, where I found original periodicals from German Southwest Africa back when I was an undergraduate, 1980s, to research papers on ethnic Germans. Still a few leaves on the trees. It's nice. There's Alden Library over there. It's one of the most amazing libraries I've ever come across. So we work our way back across the college green here.
Obviously, this is
I don't
in the
know
fall.
if there's no students here because of COVID or because this is Wilson Hall, the College of Arts and Sciences, closed in person. The hysteria and paranoia is in full force. Closed to persons. There you go. One of the oldest buildings in the Midwest right there. Gorgeous campus. Vernon Alden Library behind it. Absolutely gorgeous. Ohio University. Fantastic school, although it seems to have 1816. My bad, I was off by 10 years. Cutler Hall was built in 1816. You can barely see it there with the sun. As I said, one of the oldest buildings in the Northwest Territories, the old Northwest Territories, which include Ohio University and Manassas. Cutler, very famous Massachusetts who came out here, an abolitionist. His son fought to keep slavery from entering this region. There you go. 1816, wow. Oldest building. It's amazing. Still a beautiful campus all these years later. All these years later. Chubb Hall over there. There you go. The bicentennial in 2016. How cool is that? That's amazing.
That's Ohio University's College Green.
Introduce Deputy Chief Ed Brady, B-R-A-D-Y, of the Arvada Police Department.
That's when they had the active shooter in Arvada, Colorado. I covered that. There was an update. And then this is minor league baseball. Oops. Stop that. It keeps going. Try to turn the sound back on. Oh, that's why. Kids dressed as hot dogs and stuff running around the bases.
I had to pull out my mobile. Look at this. But I can actually live stream on my mobile again. So not only do we get the post back today, but I also get the live stream on mobile. So guess what? We'll see how this works. This is my other mobile device, and hopefully things will be kosher here. So cool. I can live stream once again. Boy, that camera's like right there. You really can't.
So this is when my mother passed away. Yep, this is December 2020. I did a tribute video to her less than an hour after I got word that she passed away. I went live. Some of you were here for that.
Hey folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa on Daba Africa. This is Chris. Yeah, that was my sister a short while ago, probably about 45 minutes ago. She called to let me know that she'd received a call from the hospice. My mother passed away about an hour ago. So August 1945 to December of 2020. I don't know why that's not showing up. Let me try to fix that, folks. I just thought I'd try to use a little bit of this time to pay a bit of a tribute to my mother. And I don't know why the color's not coming out there. Let me see if I can get that fixed really quickly. Color's not coming out right on that font. I don't know why. Let's try red and see what happens. That's still not coming out right. Just delete that thing, so I'll delete that. So anyway, folks, yeah, but anybody there? Nobody's there? Am I transmitting? I don't know. Anyway, I don't see anybody there. Nobody's commenting. Bullets for teeth, condolences. Oh, thanks a lot, appreciate it. For some reason, I'm not seeing any. Oh, that says top chat. That's why, not live chat. Okay, bullets for teeth. Well, thank you very much for that, bullets for teeth. I appreciate that. That looks like a V for Vengeance mask you have on there. Respect, love it. Love the V for Vengeance stuff. So let me see if I can do this again very quickly. Okay, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. That keeps happening. Sorry, folks. I'm just distracted by this nonsense. When she was a kid. Yeah, look at that. Didn't even know they had color photographs back then. Yeah, that must be a colorized one. That's in the late 50s there. Yeah, that's my mom. Yep. Anyway, so. Yeah, anyway, so. Yeah, no, my mom and I have the same look. She was 6 feet tall, and I'm 6'2". Had that in common. Had that same face. Yeah. Absolutely. You see that in my photographs as a kid, looked a lot like my mother. So, yeah, got the wave. I didn't ever realize that. I get the wave going there. Never realized my mama had that because most of her life she didn't have that wave. Anyway, so this is a picture of her back in the late 1950s in school. So one of the school photographs. I don't know what she's got on her shirt there, but it looks kind of, I don't know, like sheep or something on there, or puppies. I'm not sure which, but yeah, that's her back in the 50s. So, all right, let's switch to another one here. That's my mother and my father. Yep, that's my mother and my father. Yep, that's one of those photograph booth photos. You know, you jump in the photograph and you pull the curtain and you take that picture. There, she doesn't have the wavy hair there. She's got it all pulled back, which is kind of strange. But almost the same hairline. Look at that, almost the same hairline. Yep, anyway, so there you go, folks. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for the likes. Kind of a tribute to my mom who just passed away. Yep. Born in English Council, Maryland, which is just below Baltimore. Passed away in Lancaster, Ohio. Right, so that was my father who passed away 2 years ago. And then here's the next one here. Let's get that one off there. Now, there's both my parents. That's 66. These are a little bit out of order here. I like this because you can see how tall my mother was and look how skinny she was. It's how she was almost her entire life, in front of a Ford. That's with my father in July of 1966. I was a year and a half old, approaching 2 years old at that stage. But somehow I didn't make it in that photograph. Yeah, that's my mom and my father in July of 1910-4. Roger. Keep your ears on. Yeah, that was the time. I was the Baltimore Kid. That was my handle on the CB radio. I had my own CB license. My mom had me into it. We're really big. Look at that truck. Look how ancient it is. Look at that dashboard and how little space there is. My mom was 6 feet tall. She barely fits in that semi. These days, those things are Gucci like that. I don't remember anything else except this trip from that stage of my life. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Look at the big hair there. She's got big hair. Sometimes my mom had red hair, blonde hair. She liked to dye her hair. And this is my favorite all-time photo. That's not the best. This is a scan of it because I didn't have the original, so I scanned this. But that's my mom in the 1970s. That's probably about 1976 or 77. So she's in her about 30 years old there, I'd say. Yeah, 30 years old, yeah. She, I love this photo because it shows how she was determined, how she was. Look at that serious look in her face. This is one of those roadside rest stops where we'd offer free refreshments to truckers, and she's got a jacket on with all those badges and things from CB clubs. My mom was big into CB radio and truckers, and I had my own call sign, the Baltimore Kid, back then. Yeah, she could be tough, Elizabeth. Yep, she was something else. So just hard to believe she's passed now. There's my mother when she married my second stepfather, Fred Bennett. I'd say that's probably about 1979. It might have been 80. They tend to get married a lot. I don't know what that was all about. Every year they want to get married again. They got married all over that thing. They want to get married in 50 states. Alternative network that's coming up, folks, and it's sponsored by conservatives. So, and fun. There is family here. My sister was watching the stream earlier. So my sister Jennifer couldn't sleep. She didn't know why she couldn't sleep. She got up. She saw my stream was on. She was watching the stream earlier when I was broadcasting, and that's why.
110,000 people at Penn State watching them play Iowa State. This was in 2019. It's a halftime show.
I would have been even more impressed if it was someone like looking it
So you can see how big football is in America. Penn State football.
Hey folks, it's Chris here in Central Pennsylvania once again for Indaba Africa, Chris Wyatt Africa.
Are you guys here for the halftime show?
Got an ad finally.
no.
After all those
We're
videos
here to
are
help
playing
people
ad
customize
finally.
and save with Liberty Mutual.
So that's why the emu is here?
Yes.
Liberty Mutual. Yeah, no, it was pretty incredible. I've only been there for one game. I had free tickets. Took a couple of the War College students from Africa, and they froze their butts off because it was wintertime, and it was cold up there. Yeah, it was. It's a 2-hour drive up there. So now this is the Gettysburg National Military Tour. I did here at the Gettysburg National Military Park Museum and Visitors Center, where owing to COVID-19 hysteria, the Visitors Center is closed. However, the park remains open. People can visit it. So feel free to join me today for a virtual tour of the Gettysburg battle sites, some of the key engagements that took place in the Battle of Gettysburg from July 1st to July 3rd, 1863, in what was known as the high tide of the Confederacy, in which Confederate forces under the Army of Northern Virginia, under General Robert E. Lee, were defeated here at Gettysburg by forces under. And I'll cover that in just a few moments in another video. Behind me is what's known as Devil's Den, this rocky spot on the battlefield here at Gettysburg, which Hood's division sought to dislodge federal troops from. Scores of casualties occurred here, and to the side there, that area became known as the slaughter pen for so many people having fallen here in the desperate struggle to dislodge Union troops. Eventually, the Confederates took over position on the 2nd of July, 1863, when Colonel Strong Vincent placed the 20th Maine Regiment under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain and told him to hold. Oh, this is pretty wild. Watch this in-flight lightning. This is flying over central Pennsylvania. This is wild. Coming back.
Not very well.
Watch. Look at that.
It's like artillery.
Look at that lightning. That's insane. That's pretty wild, man. Pretty wild. This is Fort Carson, Colorado.
Chris Wyatt Africa. This is Chris. I'm at Fort Carson, Colorado, home of the 4th Infantry Division. And I'm out here doing some things, and I thought I'd take a look here over at Fort Carson at the static display by the parade field and show you some of the weaponry that's out here in this short video. Some of these I can identify immediately off site. Some of the others I get a little bit wrong, and so bear with me if I get it right. This, of course, is the M1 Abrams tank, the most advanced tank on the planet, one that I was in an armored battalion from the 3rd Battalion, 8th Cavalry during the Gulf War. And this is what we had, M1A1s. But there were M1A1 heavies, which had a better suspension than the ones produced previously. And this is an amazing, amazing piece of weaponry right there. 120 millimeter gun on the front of it. And over here is the AH-1 Cobra attack helicopter. Check it out, folks. There you go, right there, the Cobra. I love the paint job on that. You got the Fort Carson logo on the tip. Anyway, so that's from that list, and that one's got like a whole 372 views. So anybody that says I'm just doing this for the clicks really doesn't know what they're talking about. That's for sure. Yeah, my mom was a beautiful woman, said somebody. Well, thank you for that. I'm sure she would have appreciated that. Yep. Watched last night's live late. Yeah, you're one that's never crossed the border. Yeah, no, it's pretty cute, the paint they put on. Excuse me. Gosh. And Mouse has got to go. So how we doing? We got 75 people here. Just 90 likes out of 500 people viewing this thing. Wow, that kind of sucks. What's that all about? Yeah, Light Rain was there. Ants was there. Arctic was there when I did that. Guys, I did a pretty good job holding together, didn't I? I mean, you could see the tears in my eyes. I mean, you could see my eyes were all red that night, but I did a pretty good job. So anyway, yeah, I tried. Yeah, lovely walk down memory lane. Yeah, so brings back memories. Like, yeah, no, it's a shame, Mandy, when they took my original channel away. I lost access to all those videos, and the only place I had some of those videos was online. They weren't even stored elsewhere. So when I got my channel back, I was pretty happy about it. Anyway, we've been running for about an hour and 20 minutes. I need to edit that video and get it published about the expropriation that's taking place in Ekurhuleni. So I'm going to wrap up here in a second. And thank you all for watching and ask you to push the like button. Push this up over 100. We're at 98 now. And I appreciate you being here. Go back and watch from the beginning. Tonight we chatted a bit and had some good memories. Yeah, George, we've had some good memories here. We've had some really loyal viewers, probably about 150 of y'all. So, yep, and I did Vitcois, that's right, yep. Well, it seems like that, doesn't it, Ants? It sure does seem like time flies faster. But to me, it seems like this has been going on for a very long time. I mean, I struggle to think what it was like just being in the Army a few years ago, you know? It's crazy. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Congratulations to the Griquas once again. And we'll catch up with you guys later today, okay? Be sure to take care of yourselves. And watch my video when it comes out on the expropriation, okay? It'll probably be different than most other people's. It's kind of in-depth. Just got to do a little bit of editing on it, so, and I'll be done. Alrighty, cheers, everybody. Have a good day. And I've got lots to do early in the morning. So my news might be a little bit late tomorrow. It depends how long I'm at the clinic and how long I have to wait, if I have to go get meds or something like that. So I'll let you know tomorrow, okay? Cheers. Good night, everybody.